Hey y'all, all right. As you can see, back out in the garage again, and this time I'm fabricating, making a socket for my ball joint, top ball joints in the Mopars. Um, First, I want to say, before we get into this, I want to say thank you very much for all the likes and the shares and the subscribes. Some of y'all's comments are awesome. I just got to put that out there. Some of y'all's comments are just, you're making me feel. You're making me feel way better about myself than I probably should. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, and I'm really grateful for that. But I also want to say thank you for all of it's just amazing the amount of growth the channel has had. And I want to say thank you for that. So, anyway, all right, let's get back to the project. Okay, I want to um, previous video, you saw me changing out the ball joints on the control arms. So now they have new lower ball joints on those control arms. I'm going to be doing the same for the upper control arms. So that means that the top ball joints are made like this, and they have these flats on them. Okay. Now, um, you might say, why are you changing the lower control arms? Well, that's because my dream has always been to lower that truck. Okay. So some of y'all may not like that. If you don't, that's fine. You don't have to like it. If you don't like the Dodge trucks lowered, that's your business. Me, I do. I think the two-wheel drive trucks lowered looks really nice. It's not going to be slammed on the ground, so it's not going to be useless. It's still going to be a truck. I'm still going to use it like a truck. But anyway, uh, these are early 90s Dodge van. B series is for boy. These are from the B150, not D, B, uh, as in boy. And there are some modifications you do have to do. You have to relocate one of these bolt holes. You have to re-drill one of these bolt holes here. I don't remember which one it is, but one of them you do have to re-drill. And right here, this part of the control arm has to be, sometimes you have to grind on these to get them to fit, because this is a little bit larger than what's on the pickup trucks sometimes. And the bolt, the shank, the size of the bolt is a little bit bigger than where the control arms bolt on the lower cross member on the pickup trucks. So the pickup trucks they use, this bolt is a little bit smaller in diameter, a little smaller shank. Okay, so what is the best thing to do is just go into those ears that this mounts onto on the lower, on that engine cross member, and just enlarge that hole just a little bit so that those bolts will fit. So when you use the van lower control arms, you drop the front end down about 2 inches. Now, I will say this, that I really like when the two-wheel drive trucks are fitted with the for the desert racing, the pre-runner look. Yeah, I like that. Those look really great. But stock ride height, I'm not a big fan of. I've made this work for years, but it's always been my dream to lower this truck, and I'm going to do it. So, and there is an event coming up that I want to debut this at. It's the Cars and Coffee event in Knoxville, and I'm hoping to take it over there when I get it nice and lowered and looking good. So anyway, that's what I'm doing here. So now this socket, I've rarely ever used this socket, maybe a couple of times. And so it's kind of, I have like no money in this socket. So what I did was I got the ball joint, you know, with these flats. This is the upper ball joint. It screws in, it does not press in. So let me just get that out of the way. So what I want to do, what I did, is I took a piece of exhaust pipe tubing and I crushed 4 flat sides in it. Okay. So I made it basically a kind of a rounded square like the end of that. Okay. To fit that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to weld this piece that's in this socket. I'm going to weld it to the outer part of that socket, and I hope that will work. I can buy these sockets, but I don't want to wait all weekend or longer for them to get here. Okay, so I'm going to set you all up. I'm going to pause the camera and set you all up so I don't damage the camera with the welding slag. And I will be right back after I lay down a few beads, hopefully decent beads. Okay? Be right back. Hey y'all. All right, as you can see, I've got the socket finished. It's pretty snug on the ball joint. I had this coming out. May have to do a little grinding on it, but I think it's okay. I think it's pretty good. Set the camera down here. There we go. Okay. And, you know, a little fine tuning, a little grinding in here, but I think it'll be fine. I know it doesn't look pretty, but that's not the point here. The point here is that to make something that's going to work very, very well, and something I'm not going to have to wait forever for. Now, for those of you who are very critical about people's welds, I will go ahead and say this. If you don't like the way I'm welding, don't watch the video. Simple as that. Okay? Fact of the matter is, I was not trained as a welder. I have 0 training in welding. What I know of welding is what I have learned from doing it myself and also from watching other people. And there's not been a whole lot of that because not very many people will take the time to sit down and teach you how to weld unless you go to classes for it. I have not been to such classes. I've only done what I've done here in my own shop, and I have welded a couple of other places. So, however, I will say this, my welds, while they aren't the most beautiful, they do hold up. They do work. I'm pretty successful at making them last. So, I'm pretty happy with that. So, anyway, let's see if I can grab this. I'm not going to try to grab it. I mean, you see the heat, the amount of heat I put into this thing. I put a lot of heat into this, and the reason why is I wanted this to be bonded to that socket. Yeah. So there we go. Anyway, so all right, this wasn't a tremendously long video, I know, but I just wanted to make this video and show you all that sometimes you can make your own tools. While they're not the most beautiful in the world, I think I'm going to be pretty happy with that. Of course, the real test comes when I go to take the old ball joints out of the upper control arms on this truck. And a little pro tip, when you're doing that, do it on the truck. Yeah, replace those ball joints on the truck, because then the control arm is attached to the truck and you're not having to fight it or chase it around on a vise or something like that, or on the shop floor. Okay, all right. I thank you all very much for watching. It is that time again. I'm going to have to close everything up here and head out. It's getting late. So if you have any questions about this or any other videos, feel free to ask. And I will be using this very, very soon. Like I was saying at the first of the video, I want to get this lowered and looking pretty decent and take it out to a Cars and Coffee event in Knoxville, Tennessee. So hoping to do that, get that done before that event happens. So I thank you all so much. Oh, and just to remind you, I will be starting this very soon, so probably in the next couple of days or so. So thank you all, and be thinking about this. If you want to see that video will be coming up soon too. So I thank you all very much. Have yourselves a great day. If you have any further questions about this, feel free to ask. And God bless. Have a great one. I'm going to have to use my nose to turn the camera off because I've got gloves on.